All right, so LaserDrill 1-0 over Scorah, and now we're going to go into game 2 on Daybreak. Are the players ready? Go ahead and ask. Players ready. Ready. I are.
Okay, well, one of them is ready.
And Scorah. Scott, what are you up to? Scott.
Although I would just like to point out, I just casted an entire game with the wrong overlay on. It's all right.
Over there, on the wall, the far side. He's got a white shirt on, spiky hair, glasses. Can't miss him.
All right, so here we are going into game number 2. After I changed the overlay so that we actually have the right one for casting now. This is game number 2. We have everybody ready.
All right.
So, freaks, yeah, I have some bad news.
What?
I kind of shit the bed a little bit.
Yeah, I saw that.
About
You
which
just
part?
told me.
Yeah, I know.
The part about the overlay being...
Yeah, we got an entire game casted behind the original overlay of the Hive Mind and Evolution Gaming.
Oh, man, what the fuck?
I know.
You got to be kidding me, man.
No, I'm not kidding.
You can watch the replays and you can recast it. I'm sorry.
Fine,
I'm not doing that again.
It's just game 1.
You know what? You know what you need to do is take the audio from this and paste it on the replay.
I will do that. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Okay, anyway, in the top right here, the purple Zerg on Daybreak, LaserDrill.
And the orange Protoss down 0-1, his opponent to Scorah. So now the question is, freaks, do you still think your prediction holds true?
I think it holds true. I mean, that game, I know Scorah, he kind of shot himself in the foot, and, LaserDrill gave him a lot of leeway, gave him a lot of time to come back, and obviously just didn't happen. In that game, we see a good display of LaserDrill's abilities, CVP, and, Will, what are you laughing about?
He's like, I was doing really good.
Oh, okay.
So the Blizzard loading screen helps another person with StarCraft 2.
Exactly. He had no idea about injects until then. Oh, yeah, apparently Scott agrees. It can give you some good tips. Told me when to stim plus Bioball. Oh, that's awesome. Anyway, what about your predictions? You still think it's going to be a 2-1 Scorah?
I think so.
Why is this?
I feel like if Scorah goes back to his original style of play that we saw against Jay Lely in the other finals.
We did see the Forge Fast Expand coming out. So.
Yes.
Hopefully that holds true. Hopefully he is reverting back to his good style versus Jason.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think LaserDrill, he saw that all in, and I don't think he's expecting another one because he knows his opponent is again back up against the wall. If he loses this game, an all in is kind of a you're betting. It's like a 50-50 chance that you're going to pull it off, and he knows his opponent's probably not going to go for that gamble.
Yeah, and actually I like the stance Scorah took on this. That is that, game 1 or, the middle of a series, that's the time to
both
throw.
Both of these expansions being blocked. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, that's the time to throw a game if you're going to. If you're going to, try a build that's a little bit funky or, do something crazy, that's the time to do it, not, the last game of a series or some inappropriate time. I think actually that was one of those games where it was a good thing for Scorah to experiment with that and see what he could come up with. And obviously, it fell a little bit short, and he learns from it and actually is going to, like I said, go back into something that he knows very well.
Yeah. I think, this is his opportunity to do something crazy if he'd like to impress the audience. Looks like he's going to get, what was that? Yeah, he can get that hatchery. Yeah, it looks like he's going to get that hatchery. It's natural expansion. And Scorah did pull away from that third, so if he wants to go for a quick 30, he's open to do that as well. But he is seeing that his opponent has this Forge Fast Expand going, so I think he's going to feel at least well enough to, just kind of hang out and either expand once again. But I know he's not going to be feeling any early pressure coming from Scorah.
Yeah, definitely. And a LaserDrill with this overload sitting here does actually see everything that's going on.
It's going to die, though. Maybe to this photon cannon, and it's out of range and it's surprise. So.
Oh, that's always a sad feeling.
But, he knows everything that's going on. He sees the 2 gateways.
Although, look at the Sim City from Scorah. I actually like this a lot. A lot of times you see players, they'll put a pylon up here on the top-hand side and then wall off across the front. Well, Scorah actually taking an insanely defensive stance on this and SimCitying to a point where, they have to run this massive gauntlet around this base as opposed to, you know, just sitting, you know, in front of it and wailing away at everything.
Yeah. But I think later in the game, it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, it'll hold off easily against some early harass, but, you know, when you get later in the game, you got those bigger armies, especially roaches, they'll be able to just pound through something like that. So I think this is mainly just a hold off against, you know, those early ling run-bys.
Well, and another thing it's good for is, well, no, I think we covered what it was good for. I was going to go for what it was not so great against, and that's things like harassments at the back of the base. I mean, think about if your army is sitting out front and, you know, you get mutas in the back. They have to run that entire gauntlet themselves to get back there.
And in all reality, you know, if Scorah's army is out of place and LaserDrill decides to go for a massive ling run by, 2 cannons aren't going to be able to put a dent in those numbers before they flood into the main.
Yeah, and this is actually this is a time where I would like to see a sentry sitting back here, because then you can actually cause this little wall off back here by the nexus in between the 2 pylons.
Yeah, if he's got the reaction.
I would contend that he does. And actually, we do see a stalker coming out first.
And he actually is chrono boosting out Warp Gate. Do you think that's worth it?
It depends on what he's going for. If he is going to be aggressive in any sort, he definitely wants the Warp Gate out quick.
Does, yeah.
That's why you chrono boost Warp Gate really quick. And oh, look at the addition to that Sim City back here, actually causing a wall off. So now the actual attack path, if you think about it, it has to come through the mineral line.
I guess he doesn't have to worry about that too much, because if he places his robos on the bottom ground, you know, they don't have to go through this whole kind of maze to get out of the main base.
Yeah, exactly. But you can see it does cause a little bit of an issue with some pathing for some units. You know, smaller units, yeah, you're going to fit through there. Actually, if we go ahead and do the GSL zoom in, you can see that that's a fairly small space to fit through. Maybe a Zealot. I'm not sure if a Stalker would actually fit through there.
Yeah, that is very small. It's a lot smaller than I actually thought it was to begin with.
And actually, look at the Stalker up in Scorah's base. I think actually that is a sign that he did go ahead and mess that up just a little bit. And actually, we did get kind of a
look at the rally on the gateways. They're rallying to the Zelnaga Tower, so I want to... Warp Gate's about done. I guess, well, he changed the rally just as I said that, too.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of a sigh over here at one point.
Why was that?
Possibly a reaction? I'm not entirely sure, so we're going to have to see. We do have +2 coming in now.
Oh, aside from Scorah, because they're sitting pretty close to him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, what are you talking about? We do have the mutas out, so I wonder if he's going to try to go harass the main. I mean, there's 2 cannons at the main.
And like I said, you know, you and I, we talked about what kind of an issue this wall is going to cause, and I mean, the addition of the Twilight Council only compounding that issue even more.
I mean, if he snipes those photon cannons, he's going to have a hell of a time getting stalkers up there. They're going to have to go single file.
Well, and I mean, he can always warp them in, but he just doesn't have gateways at this point. He has 2.
He has only 2 gateways. And I think 2 cannons is enough to repel these mutas. 3 cannons if that one's in range. It looks like he's just going to use these to kind of scout around and see what's up.
Yeah, and you know, that's not always a bad play. You know, save your mutas, maybe try and pick off a couple of units, but don't overcommit to it.
Hasn't lost a muta yet, but we got one with low health. Is he going to snipe that? No, didn't quite snipe that stalker.
No, and actually,
they're blinking up and getting us around. They did not. Oh, they got one. Okay, so they got one.
Right. So let's go ahead and look at the worker count right now. LaserDrill's severely ahead right now, I would say.
And he just got even farther ahead. He was at 53, now he's at 64 to 39.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, he is following the principle that most Zergs should be following, and that's that you want to be 1 base ahead of your opponent before everything else. And actually, again, we've
got these mutas up here are going to deny this third, force a cancel on it. And is he... Oh, he's just going to let them buy the time. Oh, maybe he'll hold it off with these. Yeah, maybe he will secure this with these stalkers.
Yeah, I believe he will. And actually, that was a really good hold by Scorah. That's something.
Definitely. I mean, I didn't expect us to get up there so quickly. I figured he would have instinctively, you know, canceled that nexus and those pylons.
Yeah, and in total, we have 5 gateways coming out of Scorah right now. And actually, looking at LaserDrill's base, we have Infestors. It looks like actually he's gearing up for a similar push that he did in the last game, which I think is actually a really good idea because it worked once. And I mean, that death ball, once you get up to that composition, is really, really scary to try and hold off. He does lose a muta carelessly.
And he'll probably lose another one right there because of those blink stalkers. And no, did not quite.
So at this point, you know, it comes down to what is LaserDrill's plan? Is he going to go ahead and go up to Greater Spire, go to things like that, things that become a real pain for everyone?
I mean, it looks like he's getting Pathogen Glands, so he is intending to use some Infestor, which is pretty. It's a pretty staple unit to have there in the late game, as they're.
Yeah.
You kind of need him to engage any sort of Protoss Death Ball.
You know, the one thing I do not like from LaserDrill, though, is he isn't expanding. He's going to get a couple of Overlord kills here unless he's not careful.
Oh, there, he saved it. Stalkers blink away. And it looks like these Mutalisks are probably going to die.
No.
Mark my words, it didn't actually happen.
But, I mean, look at the supply discrepancy right now.
At 129 to 56, you'd think he'd be able to, you know, really put the hurt on Scorah right now.
You know, I can understand the position that LaserDrill is in, though, in the sense that, you know, he wants to be defensive, he wants to play it out the way it is. He did lose an Overlord somewhere on the map. I did miss that.
I mean, he's got over double the supply of Scorah right now. I mean, if we really right now, if you're considering the macro of both players, who would you say is superior?
You know, it's hard to say at this point.
I mean, being a Protoss player, can you understand why he's so far behind on supply right now?
I can, because there's a time, like, once you've taken a base that you want to fully capitalize on what tech you can unlock. You know, you see 3 more gateways getting tacked down, that gives him a grand total of 8. He's tacking down a Robo. He tacked down a Templar Archive, so he has this tech advantage at this point. And you know, that's hard to tell that that's the way it is, but from the perspective of a Protoss player, and he's getting harassed down here at his 3rd now.
Also, yeah, Psychic Storm has been researched, and he's got, let's see, we've got 7 High Templar down here.
Yep, and he is on level 3 weapons. So, you know, numbers-wise, yes, he's very behind. This is a very touch-and-go situation for a very lot.
But as we all know, Psychic Storm can definitely make up for those numbers.
Yeah, Psionic Storm is one of the great...
Excuse me, Psionic.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean
I said Psychic.
No, it is a really good... it's a really good ability when you have mass armies like this.
Yeah.
And then couple that with things like feedback, and those infestors are basically nullified. And I actually have a lot of faith in Scorah's micro that he will get that pulled off.
We've got the 4th is actually finishing up right now for LaserDrill, and he's banking 2k minerals, so I'm assuming he's going to go ahead and expand again sometime soon.
Yeah, and Scorah, ooh, saving that Stalker. I like that play. He is on 3-0 though. One thing I would like to say is, like, you know, in PvT, it's important that you get your upgrades really, really quickly. It's important that you're ahead of your opponent in upgrades.
PvZ or PvT?
PvT.
PvT.
In PvZ, you can be a little more passive with it, but I don't like how passive he has been thus far.
Look, I think we're about to see a big engagement right here.
Oh, and LaserDrill's maxed out at this point.
Oh, save those infestors. Oh. And he's got tons of money, so he can remax. But this is crazy right now. And is he going to be able to? I think he's going to be able to. Yeah, he's going to be able to defeat Scorah's army here.
Yeah.
Despite Archons and despite those storms, I mean, he merged all of his High Templars, so no storms, and it looks like the entire army's going to be dying. It's very bad.
Yeah, this is not good at all.
Despite those upgrades, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you know, as a Protoss player, it's normal to be behind supply-wise because you want that tech advantage, and now he does.
A nearly maxed out Zerg army versus 74 supply. I don't see this going well for Scorah in any way.
No, I don't. I think it was held off, or he held off a little too long, so to say.
Yeah.
In terms of getting units. I mean, that's one thing as a Protoss player you want is obviously you want a lot of units at all times.
As you can see, nothing in production for Scorah right now, and all kinds of units flooding across the map. Just LaserDrill is easily able to remax as soon as any of his units are destroyed.
And here we go. We do see that SimCity in play a little bit, but the Broach is going to go ahead and ignore it and go down to the
And these infestors are totally out of energy, so they're going to be effectively useless.
There's a couple of them that can There's a couple of them that can fungal still. Ultimately, though, yes, most of them are out of energy. So fungals are done. For the time being, I feel like Scorah has repelled this, but we do see the army remaxed outside the front.
Yeah, 195 to 71 supply. He's pulling all of those probes that he had originally pulled off. Whoa. Oh, I guess I didn't see him pull those probes to help defend.
You know, to be honest with you, I like this SimCity from Scorah a lot, though, because you see him ducking in and out to try and protect what he has.
And are we going to see a lot of infested Terrans?
I think we are.
Yep, and they're about to spew. Come on. Oh, he's using them for fungals instead, and it's very effective. Took out all those stalkers, and now here come the infested Terrans.
Freaks,
And I think this is the death blow.
Yeah, I think this is.
I think this is
any
GG.
time. Expected any time. It's a lot of infested Terrans and more units continuing to stream across the map.
Yeah, lots of probes being pulled, and they're all just getting obliterated.
The cannons are down. The units are continuing. Scorah giving it every last bit of effort, but at 17 supply, I don't think he can come back from this.
Yeah, 17 supply. That is horrible. No probes left. What is his income at? Absolutely nothing. And I think we're going to see a GG here soon. And this is quite surprising.
Yeah, it is actually. To be honest with you, I don't know what to say about it. We do have queens entering the fray.
I mean, Scorah just kind of got raffle stopped here. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I never saw a moment in this game where he felt at least on par or ahead of LaserDrill.
Usually there is a point where that happens, where you reach that pinnacle.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I think he's just holding on for dear life now. He did a warp in at that fourth, a couple zealots. LaserDrill pulling a bunch of drones away, but it's not going to save anything at 38 supplied and 197. That third is just being obliterated by infested Terrans right now.
And he's going to go ahead and lose that Nexus.
There it goes. And here we see the force fields off from the main. He's saying, screw you, you're not getting in my base. I'm still alive, although not.
Yes, he's fighting for every last bit, and I love this play, to be honest.
Absolutely. Proving to be very stubborn, but he's going to lose all of those stalkers, and now, I mean, once again throwing the force field down. He has vision, so he's kind of screwed now. Lots of infested Terrans, and those are just going to obliterate everything. No amount of photon cannons are going to be able to do anything here. Just waiting for the GG now. Well, not very suspensive. There's a GG well played from Scorah, and my prediction stands true. LaserDrill has 2-0'd Scorah. And I tell you what, I'm very surprised at this. I mean, it's like after 5 months of not playing this game, being completely out of the meta, and just coming in and saying, you know, sure, I've been gone a while, but I can still, whoop some ass. And apparently this holds true.
This does hold true.
And I can say I'm very proud of LaserDrill for that. And like, once again, he pulled out of the tournament originally thinking that he wouldn't be able to win, and I mean, as we can see, he's played fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. So congratulations to LaserDrill.
Definitely, that's taking that grand finals 2-0. I mean, Scorah was very one-sided, I believe, and it just completely annihilated him. And
both of these players, though, really good message.
Definitely.
Matches. Wow, message. What? I don't know what that means, but very good matches. Nothing to hold your head about.
And well, thanks everybody for tuning in, watching.
Yeah, and I will get the VOD corrected and up before I post it. So.
And overall, we had a couple drops in this tournament, but I think overall it went pretty well. We had some very good games. I definitely enjoyed watching and casting these with you, Evo Woodhouse.
Evo Freaks, it's been a pleasure as always. And for you guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
It's been a Hivebind production.
It has been a Hivebind production. So everybody take care. We'll see you later.